Going back to the contact area right here, I can add a new contact to this, and what happens is whatever contact I have for the first one, Bill, and I punch in the street address is Main Street, I punch in the city is Houston, and I put the state in and the zip. I'm going to leave the title blank. Well, no, let me put in manager right now. Phone number, cell number, fax number, and then I'm going to put in an email address. I think this is Bill, and we'll put at abb.com. Once I save this, since this was the primary contact and I'm updating it, this will default on all future ones. So when I add a new contact, all the information should appear. And unfortunately it hasn't on this one. Maybe Tom was the first one. But anyway, what happens is whoever the first primary email is that's loaded, it will automatically do a predictive or default load of whatever the first address, city, state, and zip was, and it'll take the company phone number, and it'll take the last part of the fax. In other words, if it's Tom or Bill at whatever the abb.com was, it'll cut off the Tom or Bill and just put at abb.com. Here we also have the customer history, that any parts that they've had on previous rental sales orders will appear in this section. Okay, products. We've talked a little bit about this, but let's go into the detail. I want to go through it one more time. We've talked about all of the pricing. Here I want to demonstrate a re-rent being added this time. I'm going to add inventory, and I'm going to check the re-rent box this time. I'm going to select a customer. In this case, I'm going to use an existing one, but I can add one by freeform typing it in there. I'll assign it a PO number, and then I'm going to give it some rates. And again, we specify here, these are the rates charged by the vendor. So we'll put in $1, we'll put in $3, we'll put in $12, and we're using serialized at this particular time. We'll put it in a bin number, and we'll make some comments to be added for Amber contract, and then we could put in the number that it was added for, so we know specifically why we've added it to the contract. Now, should I add more serial numbers, all I have to do is click on the plus sign, and I can continue to add more serial numbers, and I can keep going. I think there's up to 10 or 15 that you can go down. Now I'm going to add it. You'll see it immediately appear here. Bonaventure Steel is part of your current inventory. Here's Bonaventure Steel. It looks like it's at the vendor. This is the two that we just added. There's the serial numbers. Now, as you can see, this says at the vendor. This means that it is not in the inventory. If this is requested through the rental sales order right now, it will show that no inventory is available. In order for this inventory to become available to the rental sales order, the icon for the script must be actuated and changed from at vendor to available. This allows us to be able to set the purchase order, set the information in play, but not actuate it until it's physically in the building and ready to go. We're going to add some notes on this, particular one, Bonaventure Steel. Let's go ahead and take the first one, and I've opened it up, and here's the field. I'm going to put this information will appear on the re-rent active screen, and I'll show you where that appears in a minute. So I've submitted the information. The information says here, this information will appear on the re-rent screen as part of our audit trail, and again, this gives us the profile. We can